Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us at 7. I'm Tracey McCain.
And I'm Caitlin Nuclo. You're watching Eyewitness News here on the Wax. A lot to talk about, but first we want to say hello to meteorologist Scott Gagliardi with a check on your first alert forecast. It was hard to get out of bed this morning,
Scott is my prom date.
I know,
you
see
guys
this?
know.
Check this out. Look at this. We didn't even plan that. I love when I just bring in a tie.
Someone snap a picture.
And it matches.
I know.
Somebody at home should snap a picture.
I should. I have to be home by 10, though.
We'll get one that 10 a.m. You've been up for a while.
Guy.
Yeah, right? And anybody who's been out earlier this morning, it's wet out there. We certainly have wet roadways. Take it slow. You have some of that spray from the car in front of you, and it will cause a problem, so leave extra time. A few light showers, nothing like what we were seeing last night. So give this another 4 hours or so, and we'll actually see some clearing, partial clearing anyway, by the end of the afternoon. A 24-hour temperature change there, way down by anywhere from 10 to near 15 degrees, giving us readings right now, which are actually where they should be for this time of year. Average low temperature, 63. We're looking at 60 to about 62. A few 50s. Check out Torrington and through Waterbury. Middle 60s right along the shoreline. It's a cooler morning. The humidity drops throughout the day today, but we have a first alert issued for Friday and Saturday. This is all associated with what will be left of Debbie, tropical downpours. The heaviest looks to come in on Friday. We can actually get Saturday to be a pretty nice day. Right now, this is the latest. Wind speeds about 45 miles per hour, but we'll have the track, how much rainfall we're expecting, and if we can salvage any of the weekend. That's all coming up with your first alert 7-day forecast.
All right, Scott, listen, if you want to take Tracy your prom date to an after prom party, the good news is you can get about anywhere in the state relatively quickly. Slow down a bit. As Scott mentioned, there is some precipitation still on some of the roadways, some wet highways out there. But if you look at your drive time, it's pretty darn good shape right now. Even 88 minutes from New Haven to the GW Bridge is not all that terrible for this time of morning. You can see this is the situation right now. I-95 South in New Haven, the Long Wharf Drive exit, smooth sailing. Basically the same story across Connecticut as we take a look in Meriden, Middletown, Hartford, and in Waterbury. So get out there. If you got to start your early morning commute, it's a good time to do it right now. That's a look at your first alert traffic report driven by your Connecticut Chevy dealers.
Well, right now we're working to learn some more information about a police investigation in Newington. This is a look at what our crews found this morning. Just after 3 a.m., it all took place at a storage facility on Maselli Road. You can see the door there behind that police cruiser damaged. It's not clear why investigators were there. We're working to get updates for you.
We're also working to learn more about the condition of a man who fell on the train tracks in Bridgeport. A city spokesperson says the victim got struck between the platform and the train last night at the train station on Water Street. Not clear yet if this could impact Metro North riders this morning, but we'll also keep you updated on the investigation.
And as soon as we get updates on those developing stories, you'll be the first to know. Just download the WFSB app to get alerts right to your phone. Also this morning, some developing news. We're learning new details about a horrific, deadly crash in Florida with a heartbreaking connection to Connecticut.
Now, police say 9 people, including 6 children, were killed when an overloaded SUV flipped into a canal in Palm Beach County. Eyewitness News reporter Olivia Schuler now live, breaking down the ties to our state. And Olivia, what have you learned about this tragedy?
Tracy and Caitlin, it's heartbreaking. We know several victims are from Bridgeport, Connecticut, and of the 10 people in the SUV, 9 did not survive. 4 were children, ages 1 through 5. Now, the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office says a 2023 Ford Explorer was carrying 10 people while traveling south on Hatton Highway on Monday night. When the road turned south, the driver, identified as Pamela Wiggins, didn't follow the left-hand curve. The SUV went off onto the shoulder, hit a guardrail, and flipped into a canal next to the road. According to social media, the family came in to celebrate a birthday. We're now learning a Bridgeport custodial staff member was related to the 9 victims killed. Bridgeport Public Schools Superintendent Dr. Carmela Levy-David says, quote, "On behalf of the entire Bridgeport Public Schools community, I extend our deepest sympathies and heartfelt condolences to our colleague and their family during this challenging time." Mayor of Bridgeport Joe Ganim and Dr. Levy-David did not identify the custodial staff member impacted by this tragedy. The driver's daughter, Patrice Wiggins, has set up a GoFundMe to help with funeral expenses. The Palm Beach Sheriff's Office shared with CBS News they do not believe the crash was related to any flooding or remnants of Tropical Storm Debbie. At the digital desk, Olivia Schuler, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
I found such a leader. Governor Tim Walz of the great state of Minnesota. He's the kind of person who makes people feel like they belong and then inspires them to dream big. And that's the kind of vice president he will be.
Vice President Kamala Harris and her newly announced running mate, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, are kicking off a tour of the battleground states today. Harris introduced Walz to thousands of people in Philadelphia yesterday. The Trump campaign also released a new video attacking Harris for her VP pick. And they said, quote, Tim Walz will be a rubber stamp for Kamala's dangerously liberal agenda.
Connecticut Democrats say the new presidential ticket has energized the party and it's bringing the Democratic Party together. Governor Lamont and Connecticut congressional leaders met in Hartford yesterday, rallying support for Harris and Walz. Meanwhile, Connecticut Republicans are on the attack, saying they're too liberal.
I don't think that he's too far left. What I do think, though, is that a Trump J.D. Vance ticket is too far right for anybody, even Republicans.
The Democratic Convention is set to kick off August 19th in Chicago.
A man from Pakistan with alleged ties to Iran is now facing charges accused of plotting a murder-for-hire scheme targeting U.S. government leaders, including former President Donald Trump. Investigators say 46-year-old Asif Merchant contacted a potential business partner to help him hire a hitman to kill Trump. Instead, that person alerted the FBI. The details surrounding the arrest are now just coming to light, but he was actually taken into custody last month.
Well, tracking the tropics here, Tropical Storm Debbie on the move, slowly inching its way up the East Coast. The storm dropped a record amount of rain in Georgia, now getting closer to the Carolinas, and 6 people have died in that wake. Most of them happened in Florida when the storm made landfall as a major Category 1 hurricane on Monday. Debbie will likely regain strength today and make a second landfall in South Carolina later this week before continuing up the East Coast. So, Scott, for us, that means we're expecting some rain by Friday.
Yes, but the trend has been our friend in terms of seeing less rainfall. Don't get me wrong, we certainly will still see some very heavy rainfall here in Connecticut, but the bulk of the activity, we're talking 5, 6, 7 inches plus. That's to the west of us. Right now, you can see Debbie, tropical storm, out in the open water, certainly has time to gain some strength before it does make landfall once again in South Carolina. But as we advance the time here, by the time we get to about Friday, this storm is moving very quickly. Notice that the cone of uncertainty right now, not including Connecticut. That's a big change from yesterday and good news for us because by the time we get to Friday, you can see the bulk of the heaviest rainfall certainly to our west. We're in a level 2 for half of our state, anywhere west of I-91. But the trend is certainly getting much better. We'll have the latest on storm totals that we can expect, and even if we salvage any days this weekend. That's all coming up with your full First Alert forecast.
Okay, Scott, thank you. Well, Channel 3 is your back-to-school authority, and if you're a teacher in Connecticut, you might want to know
was I there?
What you need for your classroom. We just had a camera just had a mind of its own there.
Like Scott.
Yeah.
The new school year is quickly approaching. Many of you guys start on August 28th, so we know that teachers spend a lot of money on school supplies, and we want to help you out. Send us a link to your wish list on our website or the WFSB News app.
So we're going to post all of those wish lists starting next week, and then we'll help you clear that.